everybody, my name is Riken, and this year I spent my time working on Prodigy. Where I kind of got this idea, it was about 3 weeks into the class, and I really didn't have anything. I had nowhere to go with it. And I was just kind of messing around on my phone, and I was scrolling through fantasy football. I was like, man, I really wish there was something for like college sports. And that's when it obviously clicked in my head. So I stuck to what I knew was sports. And there's an emerging industry in college with the NIL. This is where athletes can profit off their name, image, and likeness. So this is open ground for new and creative ideas. Another one of the problems I wanted to address is when I was talking with my friends about the annoyance of gambling. And this is kind of like the age limit on it when I talk about this. I'll tell you a story from last summer where I had FanDuel. I'm going to go over some of this. They're one of my main competitors. I made a parlay because I had a feeling about this guy was going to hit his first home run, and I was just looking at it. If I bet $20, I would have won $13 grand. I didn't make the bet, obviously I couldn't. I would have won $13,000 had I been old enough to make the bet. Very next day, I did the same thing again. I made another $20 parlay. It would have won $12,000. Obviously, can't make the bet. It would have won, I'm out $25,000 now just because of my age. So I kind of want to talk about the marketing sizing for something like this. According to ESPN, college football has an average of 10 million viewers, similar to basketball. The total amount of money spent on sports betting in 2021 was $71.53 billion. And roughly 70 million March Madness brackets are made a year. 120 million people play fantasy football or basketball a year. Obviously, these are very large numbers. So when I talk about my serviceable addressable market, in like a perfect scenario, if this business was up and running, my market could be anywhere from 10 to 50 million people each season, giving companies a worthy incentive to pay for sponsorships, which I will dive into later. As I was saying with my main competitors, FanDuel and DraftKings are kind of like the titans of sports betting. Most people go to them when they want something like this. These two are both in on the college sports already. They have a deal with Duke University. So far, to my knowledge, this is the only deal that's been made with sports betting. It's very hard to find research on this because they are private deals. I had to download all these apps just to keep checking in on them over and over and over to see if there's been anything new. So for any other teams, they can use names but no logos or any images of the players. And it's a more complex layout to use those platforms. You have to know the difference between a spread or a money line. And the age depends on the state. The average is 21 years of age. Underdog Fantasy is fairly new. I want to say it was made just the past year by Mark Cuban. This guy is everywhere. They attack the problem of the gambling annoyance. You can be 18 and play from anywhere in the nation, but it only includes professional sports. And something unique about them is they include like pro gaming. So if you want to bet on a Call of Duty match, you can. And they have our ideal layout, which I will show you from our MVP. It was very simplified. They did everything that we wanted all in one app. They are less popular at the moment, but they are 10 steps ahead of us. So the solution we had was Prodigy. And this is a fantasy sports betting app, and it follows the collegiate world of those athletes. I can't stress enough how important betting to win is. So in Vegas, when you place a bet, you are betting to lose. They have those buildings for a reason. You make those bets, you lose your money over and over and over again until you win just once. Once you win that one time, you think you beat Vegas, and you'll keep doing it over and over again. Prodigy is free to play. There is nothing to lose when doing this. All you have to do is, an ideal scenario, is you load up the app, you make your picks, score points, and win prizes. Throughout this year, we found through many interviews and our MVP that memorabilia and experience is greater than cash reward. What does this mean? This is, for our prizes, it includes things like t-shirts, hoodies, accessories, gift cards, could be tickets in the near future. Many people would rather lose nothing and win something than spend money and possibly get more money. So with our MVP, we asked the board for $300. And 100 of it was just to use a program called SurveyMonkey for 1 month. And since we only had 1 month, we had to settle for March Madness. We could get SurveyMonkey for the entire duration of it, but nothing more. We ended up losing many of our responses throughout the SurveyMonkey because once our membership ran out, they deleted so much of our information. But however, our averages and our time spent on the surveys were not touched, and that amazes me. And I'm so happy about it, because the fact that it took people under 2 minutes to complete each form is great for marketing to say this doesn't take any more than 2 minutes of your time, and you can win amazing things. So before I continue for what I did in my VP, I want to give you guys a chance to see it for yourselves. So if you don't know how to use a QR code, you can pull out your phone and scan any one of these. I do recommend not to scan the green one because I am going to go over this one the most. This was a very basic layout, and I'm going to cover a few things from those two, but I'll give you guys a second to scan some of them. So for our first one, this was our most popular one. This was the Sweet 16 game with Arkansas versus Gonzaga. This was our very basic layout. This was just going with over and unders, making simple picks that earn points. We took whoever the player was, we had to get their averages. That took a lot of time. We took their averages from March Madness only. And we tried to make picks that were specific to their talents. So each of these players, it ranges and it will change. But this was, again, was our very basic layout for it. This was our first time really getting a feel for it. And I was pretty proud of the professionalism that we were able to come up with for this. For the next one, with the Final Four, I'm only highlighting our bonus round, or to get like bonus points, and we call them our money ball. We were very limited with what we could do with SurveyMonkey because it's a survey platform, it's not like a gaming platform. So we had like either the drag options or just simple like select one or the other. So with this dragging option for any of you that did scan this one, all you have to do is you drag these players into order of who's going to score the most points. And with every correct placement, you got an extra 100 points. People actually did love this when we did interview them about it. This was probably one of their favorite ones. And it was fairly easy to make in school. Lastly, we wanted to attack the idea of fantasy. This was a very difficult thing to do with a survey platform, so again, we had to go back to the list. We made like a fantasy scoring layout where we're scoring everything worth 1 point, except turnovers being minus half a point. And we included every starter for each team in the championship. I couldn't include another screenshot, but there should be 2 more bench players down there for each team. But I went through and I took all their stats throughout the tournament, and I converted it into fantasy scoring, and I made like automatic top scorers for it. So these are our results from it, and I was really happy with this because it shows a true success from our MVP. These were our winners. Kyle, he won a t-shirt from Cincinnati. Gabe, he got a $25 Xbox gift card. And McKenna, she got a $25 pizza gift card. And here's just a little clipping from our spreadsheet that we had. There is a lot more to it, but this was just including the top 5. A marketing plan moving forward to really like make this grow. One of our main things would be ambassadors. These are people that we would pay to promote our platform. We would ideally want student section leaders from the team that we are targeting. We would pay them $500 a month, and this eliminates traveling and lets us grow our fan base in multiple areas at once. The next thing would be local bars and restaurants. This provides a loyal sponsorship, and we can advertise inside the restaurant or bar using posters or flyers. And this builds a reputation amongst local fan bases. For example, if we were to get a bar in Madison, a lot of Madison fans would be there talking about it, and if they were playing this game, this is going to spread like wildfire. And a long-term goal would be a game day experience if we can get posters at the stadium with QR code linked straight to the game. And this gives people a more excitement when watching the game, knowing they have something to play. For year 1, I would be the ambassador of Illinois State University. That's where I'm going to attend. And I'm going to further prove the concept of Prodigy. So I know this is year 1, ignore this is year 2. This is like an ideal scenario. For year 2, we set 60. That's 1 team for Power 5, including Illinois State. So this kind of dives into how are we going to make it. we can only make money off of sponsorships from now on. So we included 6 small sponsorships per form and 1 large sponsorship. One small sponsorship costs 15 cents per view, and just to get a number out there, we had to do a lot of math, lots of averages. The average student section size is 5,000 views. So we took that number just to make some financial. And for the large sponsorship, we increased the cost 45% of the small sponsorships, and we could get these prices down here. Small sponsorship, $750, large sponsorship, $1,088. And the reason you see these numbers kind of rise and fall is the different amount of events each month. This includes football and basketball, so March is obviously more popular, and then November and December are the big ones. If this would continue, this is again the 6 teams, and from there on, we double it, 2 teams per conference, and then 5 teams per conference. Ideally, I would like to, if this were up and running, I'd like to sell out by year 4. But this is just for future purposes. Capital ask, I am not asking for any money. I am asking for an opportunity. My main goal is to speak at nationals where I can try and find a team to build this. Because trying to say how much money this would cost to start up is nearly impossible. This is such a new industry that when trying to do research, there's just nothing on it. And it's something that I'm just going to have to attack to find out. But thank you.
Smart enough as you are to ask a question. I don't have any question. Blown away.
I'm going to have to second that. That's a great presentation. You know you can't build this tomorrow, so where do you go next? So where do you go next?
If I can't go to nationals, I'd go to Illinois State and I'd talk to people there. I'd talk to football players, basketball players, see if they'd be interested with this, see if I can get their permission to use their name, image, or something. I'd probably buy SurveyMonkey again, even though it wasn't the greatest thing ever. However, if I do go to nationals and hopefully do meet a team of people, I would love to jump straight to year 2, because I think that's something that's very doable, given the money to do it.
If you have to go to Illinois, well, you're going to Illinois State, but if you're going to Illinois State and you're not able to go the other pathway, I would encourage you to look for local sponsorships to partner with, to do some name, image, and likeness with local athletes so that they can help promote it and help promote the other businesses, and that may help you grow it at a micro level back there for the Illinois State area.
Definitely an interesting idea, so go for it.
Thank you.
Wow.